Yeah, and it won't be long before they want to delete videos like this too. Imagine, it's tax after tax, tax the rich, because poor people in Brazil don't have the same rights as the rich, so tax the rich, right? From Guilherme Boulos to Erika Hilton, this and that, 6-to-1 schedule, and so on. What goes through your minds as taxpayers, Minister Inácio? Then, in the middle of this National Institute of Social Security scandal, theft from retirees, the guy stops for an afternoon. Just one afternoon. This one's on Janja's level, huh? Just like Janja. To buy a pen, look how nice it is to buy a Mont Blanc pen. For thousands of reais, Nicolas now exposing Erika Hilton. There was an event that was just mockery, right? And these people think they're swimming with ease. Guys, look, oh my God, I'm gonna show everything here. The video is amazing. Like and subscribe to, join our family. Starting with this, right here, right? Lula wanted a mortadella specialist out of the São Paulo election. Look what happened in this case. Why did Lula choose Boulos? He really believes that Alckmin will be able to beat Tarcísio, right? In the election that's going to happen next year. What I'm telling you is, Tarcísio is a candidate for governor from now until next year, but a lot is going to happen. Yeah, if I say that in a week a lot happens, sometimes in just one day, imagine from now until next year. Okay? A lot of things, there's Maduro falling, there's that guy Beto over there, there's a lot going on, just so you have an idea, right? The idea? Lula has been kind of wary, because he lost the streets, as the Workers' Party members themselves say. The appointment of Boulos to the General Secretariat isn't just about sending supporters to make up numbers at his rallies. There will be mortadella, of course, but now it's going to be a mortadella sandwich, which is now an egg sandwich, right? A lot. The aim is to prevent the Socialism and Liberty Party politician from the 2026 São Paulo elections. The far-left politician would be the natural candidate for the state government, even with reduced chances. But Lula is committed to supporting Geraldo Alckmin in the race, because Lula wants Alckmin out. Lula doesn't want Alckmin there again as vice president. Lula is clever, isn't he? He knows Alckmin will eventually spread his wings, that's a fact. Boulos doesn't stand a chance of winning the state government. As for the Senate, unless it's those Coeste polls, he doesn't stand a chance there either. He doesn't stand a chance. So, come to the Boulos ministry. It's better for you here than losing there. Boulos agreed to give up his candidacy in exchange for a minister position, including, look here, offices full of cronies. That's what this misgovernment is, cronies, cronies, and more cronies. Official residence, security, Boulos, security, man. Official car with green and yellow plates among the privileges that await. Another enticing perk for opportunistic politicians is free jets from the Brazilian Air Force to fly around. No limits, no limits. That's what this bad government is. Because, look, trips per day. Lula is there trying to do this political activism, since Bolsonaro is under house arrest, as they say, right? And without being able to use social media. From 1 million reais they used to spend per day on trips. 1 million reais per day, it went up to 5 million. Lula was already spending 1 million reais a day of taxpayers' money without mercy, on trips per day, 30 days, 30 million. From the cheerful, trusted position as holders. But then he turned on the let it all blow up button and started burning 5 million reais every single day, on average, to fund the trips of the union cronies. The previous average spending was recorded in the first 45 days of the year, from January to February. Next, according to the Transparency Portal, the Workers' Party government really went overboard. Lula's travel frenzy coincides with the fabulous range of modern technology options, like video conferencing, which makes travel unnecessary. From March to October, average daily travel allowance spending jumped from 1 million to 5 million reais. The total excludes Lula and Yanya's expenses, 41 more officials also use Brazilian Air Force jets. And it still leaves out Lula, Janja, and 45. Ministries and positions filled by cronies. And this misgovernment comes down to that. This guy here that you are seeing, in a store inside a very luxurious mall, he's the guy who replaced that puppet from the Democratic Labor Party, that so-called, who is a leader of the Democratic Labor Party, who got in there after President Bolsonaro became ineligible. Carlos Lupe, this guy took the place. Then he was seen in this pen store, guys, a pen store. Check out the article. The Minister of Social Security, who's doing a terrible job. Walney Queiroz went shopping in Brasilia, at one of the most luxurious malls in Brasilia. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they caught the guy at the mall, right? 2 o'clock, look, they caught him red-handed. While the CPMI was receiving another suspect in the retirees' robbery, it was a workday. But Queiroz didn't seem to be in a hurry. When choosing a Mont Blanc pen at Pedrart, a refined jewelry store, Bolsonaro used a BIC pen. And he was proud to use a BIC pen. Inacio's minister only uses Mont Blanc. Look at that. According to the brand's own website, the simplest model, the simplest one, costs more than most Brazilian retirees make. 2,275 reais. The simplest one, but of course he's not going to pick the simplest one. If a Mont Blanc buyer chooses an exclusive fountain pen, then the price starts at 4,200 reais. Remember when President Lula started his term and was seen with a Mont Blanc pen? He said it was a gift, a pen worth thousands of reais, which I've never received before. Getting a gift like that is really something. Bolsonaro used this here, and it wasn't good enough, right? Such a simple pen, man. Sometimes we go around talking, biting the tip, playing with breaking the cap and all that. A BIC, a BIC. That's the best definition of what Bolsonaro was and what these guys are. All right? And then Nicolas, right? Guys, this is pure hypocrisy. This young man nailed it. Let's watch.
In my first term, I've already done more than representatives who spent 30 years.
He really did. You were in favor of increasing the tax on financial operations. You were in favor of taxing international purchases, including those below $50. You were in favor of taxing PIX. You were against the Marajó Parliamentary Commission of Inquiry. You were against increasing sentences for heinous crimes. And you were against ending the temporary release for criminals.
In other words, Erika, you did a lot of crap.
I discussed hunger and homelessness.
You hired 2 personal makeup artists for your office and sent money to a non-governmental organization that just advises you. You had publicly funded nose surgery, covered for Orwanto, and befriended him on Twitter. You opened for Ludmilla at Coachella and walked the runway at the Vogue Ball. Look at all you've accomplished.
I'm leading Brazil's biggest current work topic.
Erika, stop acting like you support the people.
You backed Lula's bill taxing Shopee, Shein, and AliExpress purchases. Stop acting like you support the poor.
I'm bold, popular, and discuss everything.
I'm bold and popular, my God. Erika, over 100 million people in your country lack basic education, yet you're worried about making a statement.
Supporting women includes promoting women in science. My project on this was recently approved.
Stop acting like you support women.
You voted against a chamber bill that increased penalties for heinous crimes like rape and killing women.
No. Yeah, it's actually disgusting to see, man. It's really bizarre. That's what this misgovernment is. That's the face of this misgovernment. The face. Nicolas, right? What they really hate is Nicolas, right? Nicolas was walking around, right? I think it was a book fair or something. He was there and all. And there were those characters from White Chicks, right? People joke a lot about Erika Hilton. While you argue online, Nicolas relaxes and mocks Congresswoman Erika Hilton.
Take a picture with me here.
Joking around here, right? Jokingly, I wanted that famous movie, White Chicks. It's here, it's right. I muted the audio here because of the background music, right? But look, this is misgovernment, the face of it. Guys, it's... Look, I'm speechless. One is there. Look, right in the middle of working hours, buying imported Swiss pens. The other one, getting an office there, showing off FAB's private jets. Spending 5 million reais a day, per day, on trips, taking Lula, Yanja, and the other ministers. The other one claims to help the poor and women. You saw that video of the young man who nailed it. It was soul cleansing. At least Nicolas is still exposing them, right? Good thing there's Nicolas, yes. He's the most influential congressman in politics who exposes all these absurdities. Of these characters and videos, man. And they swore it was the government of love, the government of inequality, making people more and more unequal while they became more and more like the elites. And none of them ever started anything in their lives. They never really worked. Never. Only here with others. My God, share this video a lot to expose these characters. Share on WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, and like. Come be part of our family by subscribing here to the channel. I'll be back soon with more news and information here on the Pais e Filhos channel.